Hi guys, welcome to this video, and as the title suggests, this is going to be all your best trips okay, let's start over. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to this video, and as the title suggests, this is going to be all your best tips and tricks to get the best and cheapest accommodation in 2022. I did a similar video where I talked about how the best tips and tricks to get the cheapest flights in 2022, and I'll put a card right here. You can go check that out, and it will also be linked in the description below. So yeah, do go check that out. Let's travel without breaking the bank this year. So yeah, let's get right into it. I don't want to say too much. First, before we even get into how to save money when booking for accommodation and how to get the best price for your accommodation, you need to figure out what kind of accommodation that you're going to be going with. Mostly, like, I think there's like three big categories that I can think of, and that is hotels, Airbnbs, and hostels. So you need to sort of figure out, depending on your needs, some of the things you should consider 100% before deciding which type of accommodation to go with is when your budget, like how much money are you willing to spend on accommodation, so you don't put yourself in strain because of travel. So because as much as we are traveling, we are not going to put ourselves in financial strain or in debt because of travel. The second is your interest. Like, do you want the picturesque, Instagrammable location? Are you the kind of traveler who spends only 3 hours in the accommodation like the entire day because they're out exploring and out doing things? So depending on what you want, maybe that will sort of determine the comfort level that you're looking at. Some people will definitely not stay in hostels. I've stayed in so many hostels around the world. I love hostels. I think it's a great way to meet other travelers, and it's a great way to travel for cheap. But I do understand that for some people that's outside of their comfort level, and especially when you're on vacation, you want to be relaxed, you don't want to be stressed. So if you definitely don't feel comfortable in that environment, then you definitely should not do it. The other thing you need to consider is how many people are you going with. Sometimes, especially like when I've done group trips with my friends, it has always made sense to get an Airbnb because it's a much cheaper option where we can get the house and all of us can just be in the same place, as opposed to getting multiple hotel rooms, which just doesn't make sense. Is way too expensive, and we really do not mind having an Airbnb. Also, sometimes we know like we are going to be getting a bit loud, and especially if it's like a party sort of trip, so we prefer to have a house where we are like by ourselves and definitely like not disturbing other travelers. The other thing you need to think about is the destination. Some places are not safe enough for certain sorts of accommodation. If the place you're staying at doesn't feel very safe, it might be better to just splurge on a hotel where you have like a bit of like a sense of assured safety, which even being in a hotel, especially as a solo traveler, as a woman, as a traveler, either way, you still need to be very, very careful and stay alert of your surroundings. I'm going to be making a video on all my tips for solo travel, for female solo travel, and how I stay safe while on the road, because most of my trips are solo trips. But yeah, definitely even when you're in a place where you have that sense of safety, just take the little extra precautions to always make sure you are safe. One of the tips, like one of the main tips I use to find out how safe a place is read reviews. Don't just check the rating, because most people just check like, oh, this place has a 4.2 and they're like, we're good to go, that must be a nice place to stay. Read all the reviews, all the positive reviews, all the negative reviews, and know whether that place is suited for you, because hidden in one of those reviews could be another female solo traveler like me who is saying like, you know, I felt creeped out at this place, or I felt like someone had access to my room, or this and that. Like, there's a lot of horror stories on the internet of things that happen to people when they're traveling. So read reviews guys. And also, just don't trust any accommodation just because it's on these platforms. Even on the platforms, I normally will not stay at a place sorry, I had an itch. I normally will not stay at a place that doesn't have reviews, especially if it's like an Airbnb or such an accommodation that's managed by someone and not a company, like a hotel, or like a chain of hostels. If it's a smaller hostel, I will want to see some reviews. I will not just blindly trust that I will be safe in this place. Yeah, but that's a whole other video on how to stay safe. But definitely read reviews on whichever accommodation you are booking. They will save you from being in some very sticky situations. Even traveling as a group, you could still have some unsafe situations. Things could be stolen from you. Like, a lot of things happen on the road. So yeah, definitely keep yourself safe, keep your things safe, keep the people around you safe. And yeah, the other thing you definitely need to think of when booking a place is the facilities. What facilities are like non-negotiable for you, for your trip, depending on the kind of trip you have. Do you need parking? Is it a road trip and your car will need a place to be that can be like a major one? Do you need Wi-Fi? Are you like going on a trip while working remotely? Then check whether the accommodation offers Wi-Fi. That might be like a big factor. Do you need a washer dryer? For people traveling for longer times, there are sometimes like I only book a place with a washer dryer because I've been on the road for a while and most of the stuff in my backpack is dirty and I just need somewhere to go and like wash it all. So yeah, just think about the things that you're definitely gonna need on the trip, so that you don't get to your vacation spot and start thinking like, oh, how am I, or your accommodation trip, whatever, even if it's not a vacation, you start thinking about how my clothes gonna get washed, like where can I find a washer, where can I find this and that. It's definitely like not worth it. It's such a hassle. So definitely put all those things. Do I say definitely too much? I think I do. I am just like doing a little count in my head and it's too much. But yeah, put those things into consideration before committing to a first form of accommodation and a specific location, whatever. I don't know why my train of thought keeps getting interrupted. I can hear a dog barking. I don't even know of any dog anywhere. First of all, like my building doesn't even allow pets. So I'm like, where is the dog barking from? I don't I don't hate dogs, but it's just making it hard for me to film right now. But yeah, so now let's go into how to book the cheapest accommodation once you settle on what kind of accommodation that you want. The first tip is to use hotel comparison sites / booking engines. So booking engines are like Airbnb, Booking.com. Airbnb and Booking.com I think are the like most popular for accommodation. And the best thing about booking engines is that they have like price filters, so you can put your exact budget like on the price filter and it can bring you options that fall within your budget. So yeah, before you book, check on Airbnb, check on Booking.com. What I do, I open tabs for each of them and I check, because sometimes the same accommodation is on different sites for different prices. Sometimes you will get a discount because most of these booking engines have discounts. So sometimes you will get a discount here but there's no discount there. So like the more sensible reason is to book through the site that gives you a discount. There's also those hotel comparison sites like Kayak, Priceline, all those guys. They sort of take all the information on the internet and kind of give you like the cheapest options, and most of the time like on one of them you can find like one that is suited to your price, to your budget. And so let's just go straight to the second point, which is calling the accommodation. Sometimes if you see a price online, chances are if you call the accommodation and tell them that like, I saw this price online, I want to book, but it's above like a little bit above my budget, chances are there's something they can do for you. Chances are they can give you a little discount, so then you're booking directly with them, as opposed, because most of the accommodations, they don't want you to book with the booking engines, because then they have to give a cut to the booking engines. So if you tell them that you called to book directly, maybe they can give you an even better price. I've stayed at so many accommodations where they were like, the next time you're coming, please just call us, we're gonna give you like a way better rate that you're getting. Like, and this goes for backpackers, this goes for like, one even like emailed me, I emailed to cancel for this particular villa that I had booked. My friends and I were going for a friend's birthday trip, and when I emailed to cancel, they said it's okay, but the next time you're booking, just call us on this number, we're gonna give you like a really good price and not what you're getting on the booking engine. So keep that in mind. The third tip to get the cheapest accommodation is traveling during off-peak season. Most of those like amazing picturesque destinations that cost so much money, when there is no one, when it's the season when no one is going there, they lower their prices by a lot. The other tip is longer stays. Like most accommodations I have noted, if you're traveling for longer and you're if you're traveling for longer, they will definitely give you a discount. Some give, I think, 20% off for a stay like more than 5 days, more than 7 days. It's all different policies. But yeah, if you're planning to stay longer, definitely ask if that's an option, if that's something they offer, because then you can save your money. Another tip is booking in advance. Booking in advance if you're planning to travel with your family over Christmas, if you're looking to travel with your friends over a certain holiday, a certain public holiday, book in advance. For peak seasons especially, always book in advance, because then they haven't increased the prices yet. Some people book as much as 8 months in advance. If you're that sure of where you're going to be in 8 months, then definitely like that's something you should look into, because then the prices are lower. Another one is all-inclusive packages. These all-inclusive hotel packages, I've only done that once. I stayed at a resort, like at an all-inclusive resort in Diani. There was like food, alcohol, everything is included. That definitely cuts on your price a lot, because then you're eating and drinking unlimited, like bottomless, unlimited, whatever. You're eating as much as you want and drinking as much as you want without spending any more money. So yeah, that's something you should look into 100%. I found it like a very stress-free way to travel, because you're not thinking of anything else apart from what you paid up front. Yeah, think about it. And most hotels include even the transfers in that price. Like they give you a price, and that includes them picking you up from the airport, them taking you back, so you actually don't have to think about anything. You only have to think maybe about like activities and what you're going to be doing while there, but all other things are taken care of for you. So definitely look into packages. Hotel packages are like an amazing way to travel. Another thing is to look for hidden gems, those accommodations that are not very well known about. They are not, big chain hotels. Some of them are just privately managed or owned by a family, and they are definitely less cheaper. You get more like a more intimate sort of service, in terms of you know who to call all the time. They're there tending to you and making sure your stay is the best it can be. So yeah, look out for hidden gems and like less popular accommodations. Sometimes they're really worth the buck and they're gonna save you a lot of money. Another one is staying away from the city, or looking for hotels, hostels, whatever, like a bit outside of the city. So places like more centrally located tend to be a bit more expensive, so look for places like a bit further away from the city. But this comes with a big disclaimer: make sure that you research the costs of like the transportation costs to the places that you want to go to the sites you want to see, the attractions you want to visit, all that. If it doesn't make sense, if the transport costs are close to what you would have paid by staying in the city and saving yourself the hassle of moving around, then stay in the city 100%. But if, for example, a place further away from the city but close to a like metro system or a bus stop, or a way in which you can easily get to where you want to be for cheap, and you have that option, definitely to save some money, stay further away from the city. Also, it's always just like more serene, more, you know, a better experience like away from the city. But also, if something is a non-negotiable for you, like for me, if I go to the coast, I want to stay somewhere beachfront. That's a non-negotiable for me. So I will not be staying like away from the city to save like a few dollars. I would rather. So if it makes sense to you, it's not about being cheap all the time. Sometimes it's about, you have to remember that you're on holiday, you're on a trip, you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. So you have to weigh the two. And ultimately come to your own decision, what works best for your trip and your experience as a whole. The other tip in this age and time is to check social media. Check once you identify a place, or just check social media extensively. Use hashtags. There's a lot of places that open up and then run like giveaways on social media to sort of like push their online presence. You might get like a nice giveaway and just stay at a place for free. You might find that they're running like a discount when you book through social media alone. So just cross-check everywhere. After checking the booking engines, definitely check social media. There's a lot of deals on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm sure, and on all these platforms where you can travel for cheaper than you would have. The very last one I have, this one I have never used, but it's hotel rewards programs. If you travel a lot for business, or you travel a lot, like you travel a lot but like in the same kind of way, especially if you use hotels. I use a variety of hotels, Airbnbs, hostels. I never know depending on where I am going. But if you stay mostly in hotels for your trips, look into the hotels that you love staying at. Do they have reward programs? Because you could be getting points for each stay. If you're traveling for business, then maybe in a year you will have accumulated enough stays that your next trip will be absolutely free, and it will be like on your points. I mean, enough points from your stays that your next trip might be 100% on your points. So look into hotel reward programs. It's a good way to save money if that's your form of travel. Another one that I have before I wrap this up, this video has been long enough as it is, before I wrap it up, is check the fine print. Read the fine print. Most places, especially on booking engines and all that, what they have there is the base price. Some of them write something like in the fine print, right, plus this amount of taxes, this amount of charges, city tax, this and that. Read the fine print. Make sure you're really getting what you're getting before. Let me wrap up. Please, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything from it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on social media. My Instagram at Millie Loves Travel. It will be right here. Shameless plug again. Watch my other videos, please, and let's connect. Yeah, follow my journey on Instagram, on here. I'm hoping to post a lot more, and yeah, enjoy, and I hope to see you again.